Storyline's getting deep. Here's what happened previously on Fallstreak. Rejoins. Repeatedly, without pause. A thin line of blood traces down Fina's cheek as she descends into a violent coughing fit again. Can you give me your hand, Amine? Her limbs shaking like those of a newborn fawn, Fina reaches out and places a keychain in my palm. Attached to it were a single key and a little clayed chicken. There's nothing noteworthy about the key. Chicken, though. It's ugly. Don't say that. Mallory made it for me when she was little. It's very dear to me, you see. What should I do with this? Give it to my doctor and explain the situation to her. She'll take care of the rest. We set up a trust fund for Mallory in case something like this happened, though I can't say I expected both her house and parents to go on ahead of me. I gazed down at the keychain Fina had entrusted with me. This is my final gift. Last thing I do with this cursed life. Fina smiles feebly. It's the same. That dumb smile Mallory makes as she helps others. I lean in close enough to feel a ragged breath on my face. You're just like her. Running my fingers through her hair, I take in her scent. I'm pretty ticklish, you know. My doctor fusses over it all the time. Even her laugh was the same. I couldn't really see well before. Fina reaches out and cuts my cheek with her hand. But you're quite the beauty, aren't you? My body shudders at the unbelievable comfort of human touch. Even without spreading her open, I could tell. She was overflowing with color. Color so thick it was maddening. I want to consume her. But I desperately restrained myself. You really care about Mallory, don't you? Gently easing my hand open, Fina entwines her fingers in mine. It makes me so jealous. Her voice takes on a mysterious tone as she presses my hand against her chest. Can you feel it? The rise and fall of her chest. Her rhythmic heartbeat. It's proof I'm alive. That I exist here and now. My mind goes numb as I gaze into her eyes. Her wet lips overflowing with unspoken sentiment. Her pale skin dappled in blushing moonlight. Her frail smile laden with fathomless longing. I want to make her mine. Being alive is so painful. It's the same for you, isn't it? I know. Can tell. Yet even then, you continue to live on. Strongly with all you have. I can't stand it. It's not fair. It's not fair that Mallory gets to have you all for herself. Wrapping her arms around my neck, Fina draws me in close and whispers into my ear. So just for one night, let me have you to myself. Well then. That got awkward. The seasons turn. With them, an autumn leaf falls. As promised, Fina had willed everything under the family name to Mallory. The two of us held a small service for her in a playground near the hospital. I didn't know what kind of relationship Mallory had with her older sister, but the way she stood and moved for hours on end before Fina's remains made me think. I think it might be hard for you to understand, Amy, since you've never had a family before. The concept known as family was truly something I didn't understand. Several months passed uneventfully as the seasons followed their due course. Okay. However, a startling realization dawned upon us as the year went by. Mallory was with child. When the day of delivery came to pass, a healthy young girl was brought kicking and screaming into the world. We ended up naming the baby Alouette. Alouette? Anno Mundi 200. Year of the fire collapse. Mommy, mommy. Right, this is Kalia. Gurgling noisily, Kalia waves her hands and reaches out for me. Where do you think you're going, Kalia? I watch on as she crawls under my dress and pokes her head out from me beneath the folds. Not you too, Triss. This little one had a habit of following after his adventurous sister's example. Mamda? Poking his head out alongside his sister, he peers into my eyes with a curious expression. I'll tune. Who's Autun? Looks like they're trying to get back into their original home. Autun Lyrit, a man whose hands always seem to be occupied with something. Okay, so that's maybe her husband? Even now, he is hunched over a table, nimbly working a series of fixtures into a strange mechanical contraption. I'm not letting you back in there. You two kick too much. Mata. What's this child doing? Kalia can speak normally. What's this Mata Triss keeps saying? It's sort of pissing me off. Autun makes a troubled expression but doesn't break his fine line of concentration. I think he's trying to combine Mama and Dada into one word. He's got an innovator's blood in him. Shh, you little rascals. I settle back into my seat after chasing out the two naughty scamps. Wah. Daddy's busy. Go bother Mommy, you two. Kalia, Triss, come here. She just sent them away. A silence broken only by Autun's continued tinkering descends upon the room as the twins sit down obediently before me. Brushing my fingers against their noses, I note with mild amusement how starkly different their reactions are. While Kalia squeals and tries to nibble on my finger, Triss scrunches up his face, all funny as if he was about to sneeze. Ah, there, that should do it. It seemed he had completed his tuning of the mechanical device. At long last, Autun detaches himself from the seat he had been glued to all night. He wipes his forehead and brings the fruit of his toil over to us. Should make a fine toy for these two. With a smile, he winds up a little lever on the device. Upon release, a simple musical tone begins to flow from it. The twins stare rapt with attention as he kneels and holds the device up before them. I watch on as the two children struggle over the right to examine the toy first. Why do you build things, Autun? Why do I build things? Because it's fun? Autun stretches his stiff limbs widely, cracking his joints in the process. Oof, that really hits the spot. Dad pushed me to pursue construction because of how stable the field is. But it's the intricate stuff like clockwork that's always been my passion. From designing architecture to inventing contraptions, Autun's always had a penchant for building things. And he certainly possessed the talent to match that passion. Hey, Kalia, don't hit your brother like that. The fight over possession of the toy had escalated to a miniature brawl. He's a big dummy. Wah! Teardrops began to stream down Triss's face after a convincing Kalia kick plants his little behind on the floor. Oh, not again. Why can't you two be nice to each other? Pulling out my handkerchief, I dab away the clear droplets flowing from Tristan's eyes. Mallory's expecting my company after work today. Take care of them while I'm gone. When I finish wiping away the tears, I walk to the door and slip on my boots. What? That's not fair. You spend more time with Mallory than you do with me. Crossing his arms, Autun pouts. I like her more. Huh. Why don't you marry her instead then? She doesn't roll that way, so I had to make do with you. Jokes like that sting, you know? What makes you think I'm joking? Ugh. Toying with Autun was criminally uneasy. Children, behave now. I boop Autun on the nose. I'm not a 2-year-old. No matter how gruff he may act though, in the end he's just this hopeless big softy. You're sulking. No, I'm not. Alright then. Bye. Autun makes a lonesome noise as I stride out the door. Fine, take your time coming back. It's been a while since I had the house to myself. Oh, what are you doing, Kalia? Let's play, Daddy, let's play. Mata. You're too much over Daddy for me, okay? Don't act like I'm the one that needs watching. Upon arriving at the Basia household, I'm greeted by a familiar face. It's Amy. Hello, my po-faced dearie. Geez, is that how you greet your childhood bestie? Mallory squeezes my cheeks with a stupid smile. I grumble dourly as she places my face. This woman's sure had a curious way of greeting people. Your deadpan expression is so cute, Amy. Always have this expression on. Doesn't that just mean you're cute all the time? If you don't know how to react, you can always blush and fidget and go, "You really mean that, Mallory?" No. Flatly vetoing the notion, I show my way into her home. Mallory's flights of fancies snowball out of control at a frightening rate if you let her have her way. Aw, you're no fun. We take our seats at the dining room table where tea has already been prepared. It's been 15 years now, huh? 15 years since we first met. Mallory looks off into the distance with a gaze of weary reminiscence. On that snowy day 15 years ago, I was born. Under the name Abene, my time started moving, bringing me all the way to this day. Socotrine's changed so much since then. It's only been 5 years since the Master's Revolution, but the Verloran Master's rule has brought such prosperity. The UL refugee convoy. Their arrival changed everything. The refugees' name, in an ironic twist, it was their arrival that liberated Socotrine from its deterioration. Their mobile protection facilities single-handedly lifted Socotrine from its years-long famine, and in a miraculous matter of months, their bioagent eradication corps wiped out the plague. Factories, industry, contemporary science, and advanced infrastructure felt like we had been ushered from a time of deprivation to one of prosperity in the blink of an eye. Socotrine was not the only thing that changed, though. I look over at Mallory as she brings a teacup to her lips. She was now a lovely, fully matured woman, happily married and mother to 3 healthy children. It was the very picture of a bright future. I would never imagined it back then. I can still remember holding her sobbing figure whenever she woke in the middle of the night. You were always the one finding a way to provide us for back then. I want to be able to protect you as well, instead of always being the one protected. Your strength and kindness, I've always envied it, Amy. I'm not a kind person, nor am I strong. I was just desperate. The period between Alouette's birth and the Master's Revolution, survival had balanced on the edge of a knife. There's always a way as long as one is willing to get their hands dirty. I have no regrets about the path I've carved. Mallory and Alouette are here now today. We are alive, along with all the others we hold dear. And that's all that matters to me. You really are a kind person, Amy. You don't know her, lady. You don't know her like we do. I'm not. You are. Didn't seem like she'd budge on the issue. Stubborn. Jeez, how come you accept it when Atune says it but not when I say it? I hate him when he says dumb things like that. Do you remember how I first met my hubby? How I met my hubby? No, actually, why don't you tell the story again for the 960th time? Oh, you. When did you become so sassy, Amy? My first meeting with Idone was so romantic. Fishing a suicidal man of Eviget in the rain doesn't strike me as very romantic. You're just wording it unflatteringly. Idone Basia, a young man who had lost his entire family to plague. Mallory met Idone for the first time while crossing the fated bridge that overlooked Eviget. Known by its epithet Heaven's Fall, it was a place where the lost and weary yielded their lives to the river of eternity. Even if the drop didn't kill you, being carried beyond Socotrine's borders by Eviget was a death sentence. Prolonged exposure to the mist wreaked havoc on the mind and body after all. It was really surprising, though. Yeah, it was really surprising how calm he seemed. Oh, Amy, humor me a bit, would you? Staying on the very edge of Heaven's Fall, ready to cast it all away. That was when Mallory came up to him under the falling rain. Hello, I'm Mallory. Can I come over and talk with you a bit? And then she just listened to him. She didn't tell him everything would be okay, or that she understood him. Just lent an ear and encouraged him to go on. That continued for a while, but then... I want to thank you, Mallory, but I have to go. To the one before about to forfeit his life, Mallory spoke. Please live. But her plea fell upon unhearing ears. Without any hesitation, he stepped into the air. Of course, Mallory was not the type of person that could ever walk away from that. She plunged into the water after him, dragged his unconscious figure to land, and pounded the breath back into him. I just see him her pounding the shit out of him. Breathe, you asshole, breathe! When Idone awakened, he couldn't understand why he'd been saved. He'd already given up on everything after all. Please live. And suffer. Suffer with me. What Mallory had to say were not words of comfort, though. Rather, what came from her mouth was a harsh decree. The only truth of this world is that you need not suffer alone. Why won't you suffer with me? Won't you suffer with me? Real courting words, those are. Alright. Maybe romantic isn't the best way to describe it. But our first meeting was really something. Jumping into Eviget on a rainy day, She's honestly such a bonehead. I guess you could say you fell for each other that day. Suddenly, the atmosphere freezes over. No way. Could it be? Did you just make a joke, Amy? No, you're imagining things. Ella clutches at her stomach, she bursts into laughter. It was a nice one, too. Amy making a joke, haha. Tears were visibly squeezing out from under her eyelids, such was the extent of her laughter. Oh, what's next? Is fire going to rain from the sky? Careful what you wish for. I click my tongue. Antoine makes dumb jokes all the time, so it might have rubbed me off on me. That's all. Oh my skies. Are you blushing? It can't be. How is my Amy this cute? A shit-eating grin on her face, Mallory noisily starts squeezing my cheeks again. My cheeks are flushed just because you hound them all the time. While I object, I make no real effort to resist. I guess you could say I didn't really dislike it all that much. Now that I think about it. You never told me about how you met Altoon. I hate cheek pinchers. I want to hear about it. Please? She peers up at me with wet puppy dog eyes. Ah, fine. It was around a year or so after the Master's Revolution. Lunch break. I was on lunch break when it happened. I shut my eyes as memories over that time overtake my vision. It's cold. I dip my bare feet into the water and watch as the little waves lap around my ankles. A pond in a secluded grove. Is she nude? In a secluded area? Though hardly that far away, not many seem to know about this place. It's peaceful. Time's ceaseless advance. Time's indifferent passage. Tick tock it goes. The clock's unyielding hand. A dial that chases after nothing. Too peaceful. I hold my hand out before me. It was a foreign sensation. Cold steel, red blood. Images that have long overlapped with my hand. They were not there. The taste of another's fading life, once intimate to me. It was now nothing more than a distant memory. I wonder why. It makes me feel so empty. It was like being suspended in a dream I could not awaken from. One with layers that ran deep, continuing on no matter how many I peeled full off. Didn't make any sense, but it made me feel uneasy. As I ponder my reflection, the water's surface changes. The reflection of a young man appeared next to mine. Though I heard him coming, I'd expected him to continue on past me. Annoyingly enough, though, he starts speaking to me. Aw, that's what they look like! Hello there, miss. You mind if I sit down next to you? Yes, I mind! Mind if I cut your throat and bathe in your blood? Sounds like her. Wanting him to just go away, I don't reply. But it doesn't seem to get the cue. I've noticed you see her at the same time every day. It's a nice place, isn't it? I'm pretty fond of it myself. Maybe you don't actually like this place? So since you're always sitting here, you probably like it, right? Yeah, that makes sense. I think. He scratches his head awkwardly. To tell the truth, I'm not very good at talking to girls. So move along, buddy. I guess there's Belly, but she doesn't really count. Ooh, she'd totally be mad if she heard me say that. Like Belly. Why is that name familiar? I know that name, I know that character. Oh, it's that library chick, right? No, it's not her. I don't know, is it? I freaking know the name. Oh, this will say I think you're just a girl, though. You look pretty mature. But you also look pretty young. Or, I mean, you're pretty. Pretty? How long was he going to keep babbling? Though I had no real interest in him, an appetizing aroma caused me to turn my head in his direction. He was carrying a bag of bread. I don't like you, but I'll take your bread. Unfortunately, Adelise had eaten my lunch last night, meaning food was invariably going to catch my attention. Skipping a meal every now and then was hardly cause for concern, but Mallory had scolded her to the point of tears. This? It's a loaf of bread. You've seen one before, right? He cringes at his idiotic question even as it leaves his own mouth. My god, Autun. Of course you've seen a loaf of bread before, you dunce. Reaching into his bag, he takes a loaf in his hand and holds it out. I stare at the steaming bread before me. You're giving it to me? Yeah. Oh, it's the first time I heard your voice. It sounds cool, like nothing can faze you. Or, unless you want to be fazed? It's nice to be fazed every once in a while. This dude's weird. Ignoring the incessant chattering, I take the bread and make quick work of it. Wow, you must have been pretty hungry. Not to say you're fat or something if you weren't. My name is Autun. You said it before while muttering to yourself. Yeah, Autun. Autun Lyrit. That's my name. Autun looks expectantly at me. He's probably waiting for me to give my name. So nice weather, huh? Autun turns to the pond and laughs nervously. I know. You know there's a story that's been passed down about this pond? A story. Yup. Legend has it that long ago this pond was used by a mother to drown her child, who suffered from crippling birth defects. The mother wished to release the child from its painful fate, but her despair was such that she held herself under the surface until she drowned as well. Back then this pond had apparently been so black and filthy you couldn't see the bottom of it. There is a lot of death and murder in this game! The people believed it to be haunted, claiming sobs and cries could be heard from it in the dead of night. A priest was shown the pond and asked to exorcise it, but to that request the priest said something baffling. He said that he had never seen a more pure and pristine pond in his life. Cupping his hands in prayer, he drank the dirty water reverently to the shock of the villagers around him. As the people discussed what happened in a town meeting, one person stood up and claimed that the pond always appeared clear and pristine to their eyes. The days passed by, with more and more people speaking of the pond as beautiful until everyone was saying it. Then, one morning, the townspeople awoke to discover that the pond had transformed to become the reality they claimed was truth. Autun bends down and splashes the sparkly water idly with his hand. It's said that at a certain time of day, if one sits here all alone, the sound of a cooing mother and a laughing baby can be heard. It's a strange story, isn't it? Yeah, it kind of is. It doesn't really make sense. Something about the story resonated with me, stirring something deep inside. May I ask you something? What color is this pond? It's just blue, right? Indeed. I dip my hands in the pond and scoop out a handful of water. What color is the water in my hand? It's clear. It doesn't have a color. So it changes color? Autun scratches his head. I guess that's how it works? Even though water's actually clear, if enough of it comes together in one place, it'll look blue. I see. So it's a lie. Isn't that fine though? I mean, if it's a lie, I think it's beautiful. It's real to me, and I believe in it. So you don't need to make a face like that. What kind of face have I been making? Anyways, I had to be off now. It was nice talking to you. Autun turns to leave, his shoulders slumped. Amane. Huh? My name. Amane. He smiles widely. What a wonderful name. Will you be here tomorrow? Perhaps. Alright, I'll see you then, Amane. Like an overexcited child, Autun turns and runs off. Yeah, I got her name. Really? He fist pumps vigorously as he scampers away, causing the bread to fall from his arms and scatter all over the ground. Moldy onions! Look what you've done now, Autun. Oh, I hope she didn't see me. What a klutz! Oh my gosh, you two were so adorable. So romantic. Mallory, please. He tried to woo me with a story about a mother who murder-suicided their disabled child. Who wouldn't love that? Well, hello, Nocturne. There's something wrong with your sense of romance. What? I think I figured out the way to your heart, Amy. It's through murder and suicide. You're going to say something stupid, aren't you? Remember when we first met? The first thing I did was give you a loaf of bread, too? Oh my god. You're like a cat! You only open up something if they feed you! You can't be serious. Her shit-eating grin was starting to get on my nerves. Oh, I'm so glad you told me that story. I'm regretting it now. Oh? Is that Elouette I see? What are you up to, sweetie? Elouette was peeking into the room from the kitchen doorway. It had gotten quite late during my stay. Elouette can't sleep. Come here, you. Elouette rushes over and buries herself in her mother's warm embrace. Jeez, you're such a spoiled child. Even as Mallory says that she indulges herself as well, rubbing her cheek against Elouette's hair. Auntie Amane is here too. Next, Elouette scurries over and hops into my lap. She was rather attached to me since I had raised her alongside Mallory for much of my life. Will you be joining us for tea as well? Elouette shakes her head. Not sweet, Elouette doesn't like tea. Mommy, when is Pap-Pap coming home? Adon was quite the workaholic. Since his workplace was far away, he generally only returned home once a week. He's coming home tomorrow, actually. Yay! You should bring Atun and the twins over, Amy. It'll be fun. Perhaps I shall. Kelly and Triss are coming? Let's play. Let's play. Elouette starts hopping around energetically at the prospect of us visiting. Oh, you're so full of energy now. How are you going to get back to bed? Play, play. I'll be taking my leave now. It's getting rather late. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then? Maybe. Jeez, you always get such non-committal answers, Amy. Say goodbye to Annie Amane, Elouette. Bye-bye. Tomorrow, let's play. Non-committal answers. Ah. I let out an exasperated sigh as I stand before the entrance of Bakio home. Let's see ya. I don't know these words, damn it. As planned, I'd brought Kelly and Tristan over to play. However, why are you two hiding down there? The twins had taken refuge under my dress just as I was about to knock on the door. I wasn't particularly fond of the bloated appearance it was giving me. They're trying to get back into their original home. You already made that joke. I shoot the little runts out from under me before proceeding to knock. Even this reality duo could be unexpectedly shy at times. From beyond the door, a muffled "They're here" could be heard as the door popped open and a trio of heads poked out. It was the Bastia children. Auntie Amane, Linny has a riddle for you. Diamant? So there's 3 kids, but we only know of one of them. We won't let you through unless you answer correctly. What bird is with you at every meal? I think they were in quite high spirits. I don't know. A robin? I ain't too much of a pain to think about. I answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Wang! Elouette crosses her arms in an X shape and makes a strange noise. We got it right on our first try, though. Are we smarter than Auntie? The correct answer is a swallow. Proud they had bested me, the Bastia children grinned stupidly in a way that reminded me of their mother. Such cheekiness. If you don't let me in right now, I'll be the one swallowing you. Slowly bringing my face forward, I tower over the 3 diminutive children. I will devour your souls. She's probably not lying either. Eek! So scary. Auntie's scary. Run! The 3 children immediately abandon the post, fleeing deep into the house. As the door swings open, I spot Mallory and Idone at the living room table. Though it was a rare break from work for Idone, he was characteristically rigid at attention, as if ready to move on a moment's notice. Need help seasoning these little munchkins, Amy? Mallory waves to me as her children cower behind her. You might want to consider getting new gatekeepers. Jeez, Aim. That was a pretty easy riddle, too. Peering up at him, Kelly tugs on Atun's sleeve. Swallow? She tilts her head. A swallow is a birdie. Kneeling down before her, Altoon forms a bird with his hands and starts flapping his fingers. Bird. Brrr. Triss tries to imitate Altoon's hand motions but only succeeds in tangling his fingers up in silly arrangements. To swallow food. Altoon points to his throat and gulps. It's the same word as the swallow birdie's name. Altoon mimics the bird once again with his hands. However, Kelly makes a distraught face at Altoon's simple explanation. No, don't eat the birdie! Big wet tears begin to roll down her face. To make matters worse, upon seeing his sister crying, Triss immediately starts bawling as well. Oh, I messed up. Altoon slumps to the ground, completing the disastrous scene before me. Ah. It's just one hassle after the other between these two little scamps and this scatterbrained hubby. Meanwhile, the Bustia family's laughter fills the house as they watch over his zany performance. It's going to be a long day, isn't it? What the? That was weird. After our overly colorful entrance settles down, the four adults find themselves conversing at the table when Triss wanders up to us. Oh? You brought the toy you made with you? In his hands was a mechanical contraption that Altoon had finished building yesterday. It looks cute. Does it do something special? Altoon nods and turns to Triss. Go ahead and show the others. While it seemed difficult for him to wind up by himself, when Callie chipped in and they worked together, it was a feasible feat even for their sticky little hands. Upon release, a simple melody begins to flow from the device, causing the Bustios to gasp and widen their eyes. Wow, it's playing music? Inspired by UL design, I wager? You're as amazing with your hands as always, Altoon. That's what my wife says. Wait, this tune. I know the song it comes from. Dia folds his arm and furrows his brow. Can I see it, please? Though I expect the twins to act possessively, they hand it over to Lynette fairly easily. If only they could learn to share that well with each other. What is going on? No! It freaking froze again! You know what? I should have learned my lesson before. Save the game. Always save the game. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and if you enjoyed it, leave a like and hit the sub for more walkthroughs, playthroughs, and let's plays on the gaming experience.